Howdy y'all, welcome back to Every Time I Try to Make a Video, it takes me 9,000 years. Cato chess. So this is going to be an instructional video. The reason for it is because when I watch people like Daniel Naroditsky and Levi Gozman, I felt like when I was in the 500 rating range, 6, 7, 800, which is Elo hell, mind you, I couldn't figure it out. So I switched to Alex Banzea. And he's been my hero. But it seems like the other guys can't explain it as well as I would like. And funnily enough, this guy is playing my opening. So we have a Caro-Kann versus a Caro-Kann. Yeah. Which is funny because I didn't actually study ever my own theory against it. So we're both going to be improvising here. Improvising from everyone. How fun. My main idea though that I was looking at, this check can be really disastrous. I would say at this rating range though, maybe not so much. So what do I want? I don't want him to take because I would not be able to recapture. So I think what I'm going to do, normally you want the bishop to come out. No, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just take his. We're going to take his and we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to change it up. We're going to think about what he wants. Like if I was him, what would I want? Well, I'd want to checkmate me. That's for sure. I really want this check, but I don't know if it does much. Especially not now. It would just lose a queen. Normally, I'm quite good at teaching the Caro-Kann, but this is kind of a doozy. Because it's kind of like this unconventional opening. However, what I would suggest is if you're in the 5 to 800 Elo hell, is to be very mindful. Why is the music so quiet? Is to be very mindful of what is or what could be happening in the center of the board. Now, what is so garbage about this move? Well, this bishop is basically stuck behind the queen. This bishop is trapped by this pawn. And this knight can't go here. So these three pieces basically are keeping these pieces in the dungeon. The first thing that comes to mind is to go here, but like, why? There's no reason to win a bad knight. So that doesn't really make much sense. I'm just going to castle. And if I can avoid it, I don't really want to play anything. I mean, I'm 1600. So I mean, it doesn't really get that flashy. I don't want to play anything remotely flashy. We'll put it that way. So what are my goals? Well, I need to get these pieces developed. This is always a nice X-ray. I don't really know where the bishop goes because I feel like it just ends up getting kicked around. Maybe the knight comes out first. Or maybe I just do what Caro-Kann players do and push this pawn. Who knows? Not me, anyone but me. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna push this pawn. We're just gonna go e5. Where are my sounds, by the way? $1 billion company and we don't have sounds? Oh, they're there. They're just very quiet. Now the music's maybe too loud. All right, so this is a terrible move. Why is this a terrible move? I'm gonna take the, so whenever you have this, the queen lined up with the king, you should be thinking, can I win that? I remember I said earlier that the rook would look really good here. Well, I'm going to take, and if he takes, I can go like this. Now, if I go like this and he goes like this, well, then I just take with the bishop anyway. I have a feeling he's going to go like this and go for a queen trade. In which case, he's just going to lose his queen. It looks like he lost it anyway. It's crazy. 800. This is how 800s play chess. Somehow my friends that are 800 don't play this badly. Half of them are in my Discord. And the interesting thing about this is there's no like say the knight was here. Well, the knight could like at least get in the way. Or if the bishop was here, the bishop could at least get in the way. Not saying it's saving anything, but at least you're not immediately right off losing a queen. Okay. So he's just straight up losing a queen. And then now I'm just going to win a pawn and we're just going to simplify. And I noticed for me, I even to this day still have trouble. Hello? I think he's just on tilt. Even to this day, I still have trouble converting endgames. Like quick, like converting winning positions. So if you feel that way and you have a rapid game and you have time to think, I think it's good to stress your brain and think about where checkmate is. However, if it's a matter of time struggle, not really worth consider. I do have this check. However, the king runs here. So I think I'm gonna start with this. To be honest, and just see what happens with his rook. Because the more pieces that are involved in the attack, the higher likelihood I have that I'm gonna win. Also, there's something quite interesting with like chess psychology. That like if you make enough threats, eventually your opponent's going to blunder. Now, I would love to play this, but he would just take, so that's not possible. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add a little more pressure to the rook. So like if you see your king can get away, or the opponent, not your king. If the opponent's king can get away, or you're trying to find a checkmate, this is where you really need to like think. Like you want to think about your king's or your opponent's king's available squares. Right now, this is the only one. Like the king can't go here because of the bishop. The king can't go here because of the bishop. The king can't go here because of the queen. So your opponent's only available square is this one. And the thought is, how do you take that square away? Curious how we did. 93.3%, dude. Come on. 93 to blooms. Not too bad. And all he did was make one blunder. Quite interesting. I might try and run one more.
You overlooked an opportunity to kick a knight.
Oh, chess.com's talking to me. I overlooked an opportunity to kick a knight.
You overlooked an opportunity to kick a knight.
Dude, shut. Dude, get out of here.
Nice. This allows the...
Yeah. So even the computer agrees. All right, great. I do not want to... His voice is freaking me out, dude. Oh my god. Holy mother autism, you know what I mean? Oh, immediately right off rip, get another game, dude. Great. Now, I can go over how I would play the Caro. However, our good friend from Pakistan, his internet's not so good. So we're gonna play the Caro-Kann. So the nice thing about this is I am going to be able to give you all the information that I know about the Caro-Kann without finding some ridiculous way to win. So would an IM or a GM or someone try and find, or like end up finding a faster way to win than I am? Well, yeah. But you're gonna get like a dialed down version. I'm not gonna find some like absurd move that a 500, 6, 7, 800 would find. Because none of us are finding it. Okay, so we get the fantasy variation. I wish we were getting normal Caro-Kann stuff, because you don't really see this that much. I saw this all the time when it was popular with Levy, but you like don't see it as much anymore. You don't want to trap the bishop in normally with the Caro, because then now it's kind of like the French. But in this instance, we're gonna trap in the bishop, and our goal is still the same break. This break is important in the Caro. We're still looking for the same break. So I'm gonna play this. Two benefits of this is there's no check, which there's not anyway down the road because the bishop's not there and this pawn hasn't developed. So actually, now that I consider it, I feel like we could play this right away. So in the Caro, like these checks can be devastating, but we're just going to consider if no pieces can get there, then it doesn't apply. We're just gonna play this, and if he takes, we can just win it back. The reason I did that is because pawns become very dangerous in the opening, especially if you're not careful. Okay. Now, I feel like we could just take this and go for like a simple endgame. I don't think it's best. I think it's best to allow him to take and win like this. I could be wrong. Yeah, let's not do that actually, because then if he takes, then he could take, and yeah, that doesn't look good either. So let's just go for the end game. Let's just go for a simple end game. This doesn't feel like the best, but it doesn't feel wrong either. Feels like a simple continuation. Okay, well that just under no stretch of the imagination can be right. I mean, that just, because now if he recaptures, we're just Bro, what is this guy doing, dude? Dude, I like didn't want to go for like stupid tactics, but this guy's like begging for it. So you know what? Forget about it, dude. We're just gonna take. He's gonna have to take, and we're just gonna win a queen. Just straight up win a queen. No questions asked. Nothing can take this except for the king, and the king can't go here. Like, I was trying to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, and I'm trying to like teach this in a normal way. But if he's gonna play some like stupid, silly goose fantasy variation, then we're gonna do it. Now, imagine this pawn isn't here, and this knight isn't here. This wouldn't exactly work because we just sacked a bishop, so we lost the bishop. And imagine this piece and this piece are not here, like they're invisible. If I were to take the queen, he could kind of do the same thing, take with check, and end up winning the queen back. But that didn't happen. Now, something I'm going to say where I used to lose many games, because there's a similar trap like this in a couple other openings for white. What I'm going to suggest and recommend is that you just get your queen out right away if he doesn't resign. So if he plays like this, then obviously we have to like find other avenues. I was gonna say like this, but we're just gonna bring the queen all the way back. We're definitely not gonna check because then we just lose our queen. We're just going to drop all the way back. And again, he doesn't have any avenues down this side of the board because, well, this is here, and yeah. So let's think. I could throw in one more check just for funsies. I don't really know why or what the purpose would be, so I'm not even gonna bother. I feel like I'm just gonna cast. Oh, I can't castle. What am I literally smoking today? What literally what am I smoking right? Okay, I'm just gonna develop a bishop, I guess. And if he attacks me again, then we're gonna figure it out. Probably just this. I don't want to allow any rooks to get like fat and sassy though, and like start cooking us. So I have to be mindful of these things. So I think I will give him another check, just so that my pieces have an escape. Yeah, so I'm gonna give him another check. He has to run. And then I'm just gonna start involving other pieces. Now, just to keep in mind, this pawn is quite weak, and there's like a bajillion and one ways to target that pawn, which I literally might just do right off rip. Also, like, I don't know if this is like, I'm getting too much in the weeds here, but if we were to eliminate this knight somehow as well, this check would win a win English. It would win a rook. So for example, this takes check, wins a rook, and then a knight. And I don't think that a knight here, or wait, yeah, I don't think a knight here is doing a whole lot. I kind of want to go for it. Wait, here takes... There's no more checks, so we're not going to do that. What? Dude, I should just consider quitting chess. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with this. Yeah, that just doesn't work anymore, so that would just create a knight, I guess. Okay, so now we're gonna take, and now again it works. Now I could just win this pawn, actually, which might be nicer because I'm threatening the rook anyway. And actually, I think that that's a little more straightforward. Like, I'm trying to teach this in a way that's like not so complicated. Also, I'm looking at holes that exist. That's also another opportunity. I'm also considering this move because the knight can't move. So I think this is gonna be our... Well, if I play this, he has this. And that starts to get a little bit dicey. But then we could go here. And then maybe win the rook. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go for this. Like, I know when you're lower rated, you just kind of want to go in for the kill. So maybe I'll just kind of go in for the kill. Crazy move. I didn't even see that move, if I'm being quite honest. I did not even see that as a move. I didn't even consider it, which is insane. Did not even consider it. Damn, dude. Damn, that sucks. Well, I guess it happens, you know what I mean? Well, I guess we just win a pawn in the meantime then, I guess. Kind of oddly works out in some weird kind of way though, because I can play this and like, this knight is not actually being threatened because if I were to just take, there's no more pin, but he has to move this knight. But then I could jump in this way, but then he has this. But then I have... Yeah, whoa, this is weird. Huh. Crazy, dude. Crazy strength of 500s, you know what I mean? Resourceful, to say the least. Okay, he hangs it anyway. Glory be. And stuff. Okay, I'm gonna just give him another check, and he has to go back. If he blocks with the bishop, he loses the rook. I think he's just... Yeah, he's just gonna resign here. He forgot the knight. The knight was the best friend there. He probably figured, well, I already moved that piece once, so I don't want to move it again. And now I just want to get my rook involved. And I mean, that's basically the end of the road for this guy. He lives in Never Resignville, though, which I think is a silly place to live. All right, let's just give him a check. I was considering the other checks. Like, this, obviously, he would just take... You know, like, none of the other ones looked appealing. Now, this is where I feel like I can actually teach something. Unless I'm just fucking mistaken again. I would love to take this. He recaptures. And then I go here. And you know what? He's not in time, actually. Not only is he not in time, he can't cross the path. So yeah, we're just going to take here and go here. And we also, oddly enough, have this. That's the funny thing about GMs is they don't need to, like, reconsider. They can just play stuff. We had one miss. Can't wait to see what that is in the comments. Oh, he wants to play again. Maybe we run one more, dude. Since I like had a minor oof. Let's see what he does against the Scotch. Scotch gambit again. No one is losing rating points here, so we're good to go. Wow. Wow, that is weird. I think taking like this is the best. It could be extremely wrong, but I feel like that's the best. Oh, this guy's playing crazy chess. Okay, so now it's just like a counting game. So like, if I take here, he can just take like this. And if I take here, he could take like this. And he's getting like all this development. So none of that is quite good. If I play this check, he could go here. That doesn't seem like very useful either. I don't see like a good follow-up to that. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if this is best. Probably not, but I'm just going to defend against this pawn recapturing. Now, he could take... Oh. Okay, he just goes for it right away. Okay, just kidding. Alright. Alright. Now we have stuff to think about. Now, I can play this. Because if he goes here, I can take. And if he takes, he loses that. So, this is like kind of a common thing that happens in chess. When you've pushed your F pawn, this is how you punish it. So, again, this happens with a knight or a bishop. I'm going to go here, right? He's going to block. I'm going to take. And if he recaptures, I win a rook. This is like a really great thing to learn. And it happens when the F pawn has been pushed. That's how you literally take advantage of it. Unless I'm missing something, which I very well could be. But I don't think I am. I think he has to like do something else, which just leads to its own sort of death. This is essentially resignable, but I don't think this guy likes to resign. He's probably also confused by this move. I'm struggling to believe that. Wow. Oh, wow. So the first thing that comes to my mind is just castling and then almost winning a queen. I think we have to take like this first. So we take, he does whatever, we castle, he does whatever. He puts a bishop out to attack me. Maybe we just take here, I guess, or maybe we pin it anyway. I don't really know. I could also play this, which is kind of crazy, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to just... You know what? Yeah. Well, if I take here, though, then he has this. But then I just have this, though. I think we're going to take this. Yeah, I think we're just going to take this pawn. And if he goes here, then we're going to take this pawn. Wow. Okay, we're gonna castle. Chess is weird. Chess is weird. I really think he's gonna play this, but then after we play this, he's gonna start clicking. Be like, why won't my bishop take? I know when he sees this, he's gonna get excited for 1 second. And then he's probably gonna play this. And yeah, then we're just gonna play. Or wait. Is this one better? I feel like if I play this, it's better. Because then the king could escape, but it's like temporary. Like a temporary escape. Or I could play this even too. Huh. So many ideas. Funny how I'm guessing all of his moves though. But it has to come with another check. Like there's a lot happening here. Like you have to be very careful when you do this. Cause like this is kind of not really hanging, but kind of like if I don't do something with the queen now, like it's hanging. So like everything has to be a check so that like I don't lose stuff. Like let's just say I play something stupid. I lose a queen, I lose a bishop, right? So like you do have to be like moderately mindful. And also if I play this, like the king can only go to this side of the board now. So we're going to start with this one. And I really would like to preserve this bishop if possible. Also, I'm being mindful of like back rank mate stuff. Like for example, he takes I take it wouldn't necessarily be back rank make, but like it would be moderately devastating. If he goes here, probably gonna preserve the bishop, I guess. Preserve the bishop and stop any of this. Yeah. Okay. And then I kind of just want to shove a pawn down his throat. I like if my pawn is here and my queen gets to here, that would be really great. I feel like he needs to like find a way to run. Like he has to find a way to run. Because once the pawns come in, it's gonna be bad. Okay, I don't think I'm like afraid of that though. Like knight ain't doing, or the rook ain't doing shit anyway, you know what I mean? I think I'll just go here and not worry about it. Guy is resourceful though. This is probably gonna be my next move. Just continuing the box. Well, now it's not my next move. This is gonna be my next move right here. Because this will just be mate. I kind of want to do these videos, but like if I were to blunder a piece, because that's so common. Like how do you overtake after blundering a piece? This guy's probably going to get mated in Uno unless he goes here. In which case he would be dodging the mate in Uno, but instead getting mated in a different way. Guy is defending quite well though. He's like finding all the moves. If he finds this, that's crazy town US of A. Actually, if he plays this, then yeah, the king gets out that way, and then it gets all weird. Then like I might need to bring in a knight even. Okay. That does not hang a knight because again, he has this check. So I feel like I should just I feel like I could drop back. King goes here. Yeah. Start with, oh wait. Let's start with this. Okay, but I mean, am I crazy or do I not just have this? And that just straight up wins a knight. Unless he goes here, but then I have this. Okay, this is starting to get weird. Starting to get really weird. Now the knight can roam. This is like getting so bizarre that this guy's like finding certain moves. However, I do have this check now. And he could take, but I mean it drops a rook. I'm guessing, oh, he can't play that. If he plays that, I almost kind of just want to play this just to like, okay, that feels wrong. There's probably like a mate somewhere, but too dumb to find it. So I'm gonna just go here and just look for mate. I mean, if he moves the knight, let's say to here, like he's just getting mated anyway. Because again, think about the knights or the king's available squares. Right now, 1. Can't go here. Can't go here. Can't go here. There's 1 square he could go to. And if the knights, I like, maybe he has to play this? Maybe? Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna just give him a check again, I guess. And I think he has to take. Oh, well, that is just certainly not the move. And yeah, that's all she wrote. Not bad. I had 4 misses there. 4 Mississippis. Too dumb, but good enough to win. Write that down. Whenever you get a win that didn't feel deserved, too dumb, but good enough to win, baby. Hope you guys enjoyed this. He challenged me as a rated game, that one. Weird. Sucks to be him. Thanks for watching.